Well, first off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming this morning. My name is Janine Crooks, and I'm a senior account manager with Affiliate Window, which is an affiliate network. And I put together the panel. I'm the moderator. So we really appreciate everybody choosing to be with us this morning. We hope we give you some information that you're going to be able to find of use immediately. That's our goal, is that you can leave here with some actionable items and, you know, find ways to grow your program, whether you are a merchant or an affiliate or an agency, network, whichever. That's what we intend to do. Just as a real quick kind of paperwork thing that they've asked us is that afterwards there is, I believe you each received the criteria or the, the feedback form. So if you wouldn't mind filling that out, we appreciate it too, because that lets us know if we were able to do what we wanted to do and help you guys. So the name of our session is Finding the Golden Nuggets in Mature Affiliate Programs. And I'm very fortunate with the panel that I've got. First, I've got John Labruto with One-on-One Internet, and he's a merchant. Rick Gardner is an OPM with iAffiliate Management. Mike Allen is an affiliate with shopping-bargains.com. And then I'm Janine Crooks, and I'm with a network. So we tried to represent 4 different aspects of the business and be able to give you a perspective from each one of those. Because, you know, unless you've kind of worn that other hat, there's stuff you may not know that we're hoping we can kind of share with you. And please don't be afraid to ask questions. We're glad about that. We'll have time at the end, too, for questions. So if you do have a question that's like immediate right then, and you want to raise your hand, we'll try and answer it. Some we may put off until the end of the event, but we do intend to have time for questions. This is actually a sequel to a program that we did in Philadelphia, which was called Growing a Mature Affiliate Program. And we got a great response, so we decided to kind of do part 2 here. If you want a copy of that slide deck, just give me your card, and I'll be glad to share that with you as well, because we've got that and kind of the points that I'm going to show you in a second. We've drilled into deeper during that presentation. So this is here's just a top-level review of those ideas. From John Labruto, he suggested that when you're going through and trying to figure out a way to grow your program, 1, make it like new. So start with a full review of your metrics, identify channels and trends, manage your program like art, and develop a business plan and business plan / sales plan. He also said to expect churn and optimize your publishers, make your program fun, shake things up on purpose, and develop out-of-box ideas. Rick Gardner added, compare new versus old tactics and data. Conduct a publisher audit to know your affiliates better. Examine partner segmentation in multiple ways. And conduct a SWOT program analysis and review. Also complete a competitive analysis and review. Explore cross-merchant promotion, network expansion, and taking partners direct. And I let him say that even though I'm with an affiliate network. To tease you a little. Among the ideas that Mike Allen brought to the table was adopt Old Faithful methods, including creating an open door policy with your affiliates, establishing personal relationships, giving tailored content, offering commission enhancements, banishing loser irritation, such as missing or erroneous program information, using only one-size-fits-all incentives, and making ignorant requests, bemoaning a lack of performance. Oh, that's a hot one. And comparing all sites to the industry whales. You know who they are, the guys that are super, super huge and trying to treat someone who's a little more specialized that way. Mike also suggested that you customize the carrots of motivation, the long-term personal relationships, to build those for sure, providing special affiliate tools like trackable coupon codes, trust that is reciprocated, and tailored content that is truly exclusive. And then the part that I recommended was exploring the role of the network. So be a partner to both merchants and affiliates, removing roadblocks for either side of the equation, and keeping merchants aware of new affiliates and trends. In addition to that, developing new technologies that meet the needs of both merchants and affiliates, searching for beneficial merchant affiliate opportunities, and identifying synergies with other merchants. So those are some of the things that we discussed last time, and now we're looking forward to giving you 10 specific ideas, 3 from each of the gentlemen, 1 from me, that'll help you grow your affiliate program by finding the golden nuggets. First up is John Labruto. John?
Clicker.
The clicker.
Well, good morning. I hope everybody had enough coffee and is right awake and ready to go. You know, last time, as Ginny said, we did this, we were in Philly. And an 11 o'clock show at Philly is a lot different than an 11 o'clock show here in Vegas. So hopefully we'll all retain what we've learned. So I have a piece of paper here and a clicker, so I gotta do both. So just a real brief explanation of where I came from and why I'm here. Basically, I started off years ago in the airline industry. Started off with a little company called Command Airways, which eventually became American Eagle, which eventually became part of American Airlines. I moved from airport operations after about 10 years into the sales manager role for American and passenger sales. Sabre is also a company at the time that was owned by American Airlines. Later on in my career, I moved over to Sabre on the technology side, became the technology director for them for their travel agent business. Left Sabre, started my own company called Pencils Plus, which was a business supply company online. It was when the dot-com boom was, and I was going to be one of those guys. Did sell the company, made a profit, and moved back to the family of Sabre, which is part of Travelocity, as the U.S. sales director for Holiday Autos, and then as the head of global distribution for all hotels. And these two positions is really where I cut my teeth, if you will, on affiliate marketing. It was, mid-2000s or so. And moved over to Triple Alerts, started their program for them, affiliate program, and now as director of affiliate partnerships for North America for One-on-One Internet, the best out of all. So, as Janine said, there's some real issues with prospecting for your golden nuggets. Some basic issues that you want to go through first. You want to go through the process of refreshing your view. This piece of paper here is not working out for me. So, in the refresh of your view, you want to go ahead, in any program analysis, you want to act like you're new to this program. You want to go ahead and look at these numbers very fresh. You want to go ahead and say to yourself, how do I look at my program differently? When I get information from headquarters and they say we want to do something that's completely different than we're doing now, I have to think differently. And whenever you're looking for a golden nugget, if you will, you have to go through a prospecting period. And that prospecting period means you have to change, and you have to change the way that you're looking at the program to find the opportunities within. You have to think also how you could change your perspective. Walk into this like the first day. Think about how you were the first day on your particular job, on this particular job, and try to find those new opportunities from that fresh view of the program itself. Some of the things, as Janine said, that I believe in is doing an annual business plan, and the way to do an annual business plan is to just kind of canvas the entire program, find out your objectives, figure out where you want to move on this, and take it to the next step. And you want to get out of the grind of your daily activities when you want to take this fresh view. You really want to step back and have a goal on what you want to identify. In this case, or this particular presentation that we're talking specifically about finding what we identified last presentation as golden nuggets, which were a lot of little things that could add up to become very big opportunities. Okay, so while you're looking for gold and while you're going ahead and prospecting, in your review of the metrics, it's very simple, very straightforward. We talked about this last time. We'll just do a very brief overview of looking at overall program performance, commission reviews. Is this working for us? Is it competitive? A competitor analysis. Who is gaining market share? Who is losing market share? Am I competitive with what my competitors are doing? Do we have the right incentives? Do we have the right creatives? Do we have the right tools on our program? Are we doing program reviews? Are we getting our networks involved? Do we have gap reports to understand exactly where the opportunities may be? And all of these things are the preliminary to finding these particular golden nuggets. Have we had demographic changes on our product? Are we reviewing our creative strategy? Are we putting out creatives that nobody wants or sizes that nobody can use? Are they clicking? Are they converting? Basically, most importantly, and what I believe, ask your publishers. Have that communication with them and say, hey, are we doing what you need us to do? And of course, this is where you find the golden nuggets through this process review. And we define them as the small opportunities in big numbers. We're only, unfortunately, going to deal with 10 of them coming up soon. On the business plan piece, just really simply, review everything. Outline everyone's duties in your organization. If you have employees, if you're running the program, find the milestones, the responsibilities, review your KPIs, and don't be afraid to shake things up. Keep what works, but don't be afraid to take risks and do something completely different, because it may just be in addition to a program review, it may be that new members or new team members have come into your team that have strengths that you didn't identify when you set up your organization. So again, this is part of that refresh. And this is an important one. Make a list of can't-dos. I can't tell you how important that's been for me. There are certain restrictions or barriers that you have within your organization, external and internal, that prevent you from doing things that you need to do on your program. And the can't-dos are going to be one of our golden nuggets moving forward, and I'll give you some examples. But that's really, really an important thing. I have that list in my office, and I constantly review it to see if something's changed from a technology perspective on our side of the business, internally, and now opens me up to be able to do things I wasn't able to do. And on a business plan, trust your plan. Trust it, follow it, update it, do things to it, but definitely trust yourself that you put the time necessary into mapping out what you wanted to do for the year, and now you're following through. So, check. I lost power here. Oop, I didn't. So anyway, time's up. There you go. I think I hit it and got it back. So on the prospecting side, keep digging, right? So we talked about. I'm out again. Is it me? Is that something? Check. Hello. Okay, I'm back. So on the prospecting side, keep digging. And one of the things that Janine had mentioned, and things that I try to stress to folks that are new to affiliate marketing, is you have to stay ahead of your churn. You have to sift through your program in your golden nugget search. You basically will lose 25% of your publishers each year. As a merchant, I see that every year. You're going to lose 10% of your top 20. So if you have 20 that you rely on most of your business, 2 of them are going to disappear next year. So you have to get on top of it. You have to treat it like, being a life insurance salesman almost. How many people do I need to see each week to have how many accounts, new accounts each month to maintain, a certain sales volume each year? My rule of thumb is about 15 new accounts a month, and that means it's about 3 to 4 each week that we need to have conversations with, real conversations, and have the opportunity for them to give us business. Churn is a part of the business, and again, don't think your performance are going to be there. And okay, going into the golden nuggets, pick these guys up. These little opportunities we're going to talk about here are the most important ones, because they may become your big players, but at the very least, they may become important players. So let's look at golden nugget number 1, probe for international activity. So in my example here, one of the easiest way to expand your business is to look for international opportunities, right? So you're doing the same thing you're doing here in the US, but you're expanding it to Mexico, or you're expanding it to Canada. That's North America strategy. Basically, you could also do kind of the opposite thing and find other international opportunities and funnel it into your US site. That's a new way of bringing business in, different markets, different demographics, but at the same time, it may be relevant to your particular products or services that you sell. I'm in a service business. A lot easier to do that than if you're shipping, widgets to wherever. There's no shipping with one-on-one internet, but at the same time, a lot of you do have service businesses, and we do have a lot of international shipping opportunities. So this is something that in your business plan you'll review and see if it's viable. Identify U.S. publishers that you can expand your reach into the simple markets of Canada and Mexico now, which is becoming a very big market. It's something that we've just opened up, and we've opened up with Janine at Affiliate Window. If you have Mexico opportunities and you're a global player, well, leverage your Spanish publishers for Mexico. There seems to be a lot of synergies between the Spanish and the Spain publishers and the Mexico programs. They're in there doing work for Mexico, and it makes sense. It's the same language, or maybe continental versus regular Spanish or U.S. Spanish, North American Spanish. But there's a lot of synergies there, and they know the players, and it seems to be the same publishers that are working those markets. Leverage UK publishers for Canada, or your .com. I mean, that's another great example. Create the .com as your international hub, and not just, Canada. You could use it for UK, you could use it for Australia, you could use it for India. And we just opened up India at 1&1 through the .com site, and we're starting to see opportunities. Again, in a web hosting business, it is a little easier than it may be to sell, an actual item or merchandise, but at the same time, these kind of opportunities are somewhat universal. It just has to be tweaked a little differently for your particular brand. And be bold. I always try to preach that. Start something new. If someone comes to me and says, I have an idea that nobody's thought of, you got my ear. I just believe in doing whatever we can to do something different, because our industry moves so quickly. You have to stay ahead of the curve. Golden nugget number 2. That's a hard one too to say. Leverage everything. So you want to take risks and possibly develop a worst to first publisher. And these worst to first could be looking through your verticals, finding a publisher that may be in your demographic. This publisher may be somebody that should be giving you business, but they're not. There's no traction. You can't really figure out why. And there's potential to optimize, but you might need to take a risk. Maybe it's just a money issue. Maybe it's just a special commission program that they require that you're not offering, or they're not doing business with you because of something they heard. So there's a communication issue there. But you could carefully identify publishers through high clicks or conversions. Obviously that may be an opportunity or maybe a problem with programs. So you have a lot of clicks and you say, well, this guy's just spamming me. But it may be somebody that actually has some business there or opportunity there that for some reason they're not using the right creators, or again, they may not be promoting your business in the right way. Discuss a partnership with an eye on basically investing in their model. So maybe they have really good ideas, they're doing well with a competitor, or they're doing well in other verticals, but for some reason they're doing nothing with you, and they need money to try to start this up, and they don't want to take the entire risk. That's what we're here for. We're here to share risk, share revenue. And if there is potential there, makes sense. You should be seasoned enough in your business to know if someone knows what they're talking about when you discuss things with them. And also, sometimes you do have to just take a risk at the seat of your pants and say, you know what, this guy should be, or this person should be giving us business. They have a good particular model. We're going to go ahead and invest some money on them. Maybe they're going to do some more SEM. Maybe they have some sort of strategy that you're not working with on other publishers. Try a targeted sales approach. One product spikes, if you have multi-product, with a publisher, but it's at very low volumes, but relatively speaking, it looks like there's some potential there. It may be something to focus on. Maybe they have the wrong product. Maybe they have a similar product that they're working with that is just not quite right for their business clientele. So that's something to identify. And then this last one is really the most important. Ask your top partners who their competitors are. I mean, I found more business than I can tell you by just sitting down with my top partners and saying, who's the one that's giving you the most grief? And they'll give it up. And you sit down and you say to yourself, okay, go to them, and then you kind of leverage between rivals. And you're not messing anybody up. You're not taking business away from anybody. You're just adding more of your own business, and you're saying, hey, I'm doing business with this particular publisher. We're doing very well, and I'd like to come in and do business with you in the same capacity. And you know what their expectations are, because if they're competitors, they're probably getting the same kind of commission. They kind of have a similar model. And you're walking in with an amazing amount of knowledge, and it usually blows that competitor away when you walk in that way. We've just recently done this. We've walked into a competitor of one of our largest partners, and they're actually doing better than our largest partner now within less than 45 days. So that was an easy one. I find 10 of those, I get promoted, So that's my best advice. And lastly, number 3, the can't do's, the barrier list. Go back and review your can't do's. And break a barrier. I talked about having it on a business plan, and I mean it, because you could say, this year I want to get our tech department to resolve these 2 barriers, and that'll open up the door for these amount of programs or what have you. And I have examples, and then of course once that happens, then you recanvas your publisher list, looking for these golden nuggets to try to optimize. You regroup your publisher list to launch this new program or sub-program that you may now have. An example is a loyalty program, right? You may not, in our case with one-on-one, we weren't able to do percentage-based commissions. We were doing flat rate commissions. And loyalty publishers want percentage-based. So once that barrier was broken, I had a whole new program on my hands, or a sub-program. Certainly we kept our default the same way, but we added our loyalty publisher group with this percentage-based commission plan. And all of a sudden I had a ton of really top-level publishers that wanted to do business with us. So that's a barrier. It's an important one. It's a relaunch in a way, too, because your program's completely different than it was before, and you can get excited about it and do all the things that you would do on a relaunch, with this little tiny golden nugget that, wasn't there before. Other examples is, maybe you had a promo code restriction on your checkout, and now you can do promo codes. Well, that opens the door to all your coupon sites, right? That's a whole new business model. Or you may have had an automation barrier, or needed a third party, in order to have a product feed. Well, there you go. That's done. Once that's done, you can do a product feed, opens the door to automation for you. Of course, that encompasses coupons. Developing a new long-tail incentive program. Maybe you had a CPO barrier. Just for corporate policy, you weren't going to pay anything more than a certain amount for, some of your smaller affiliates. Well, obviously, once you put together your plan and it gets approved, or if it's something that you can make a decision for, that opens the door to that particular new item. And lastly, which is not on here, is a retargeting campaign. Everybody's doing retargeting these days, right? That's like the new Apple, if you will, but it's not as big as Apple. But the issue there may be a tracking issue internally, a technological tracking issue where you couldn't put the right pixel on your checkout or on all your pages. So again, another example of something that can be done that's different than it was before. So those are my three, and I think I'm on time this time.
You did well.
Yeah, I made sure last time I went way over, and everybody was like, what are you doing? So I turn it over to Rick, and thank you.
Thanks, John, and welcome again, everybody, to the first session of Affiliate Summit West. My name is Rick Gardner. I'm the CEO of iAffiliate Management. We're an affiliate management agency that helps internet retailers grow and manage their affiliate channel, aka OPMs. I just wanted to talk a little bit about a deeper dive into some more tactics and strategies that you can use to grow a mature affiliate program. And I will say, having worked on both the network and the agency side, one of the things I really love is the ability to work with programs that are in different stages. You see what works for early stage programs is not going to work for an existing or mature affiliate program. So you get to test a lot of cool things and different ideas. So today, again, just wanted to walk through that, share some ideas with you. Hopefully you can get one or two things that you can implement when you get back to the office. So first things first, before you're going to be able to identify new opportunities to grow your program, you're going to have to understand what's going on. So what are the things that you need to understand? One, what kind of affiliates are doing well in the program? How are they driving traffic? What risk and exposure do I have in the program? That could have a negative impact on program performance. How can I get more leverage or value out of my existing publisher base? And what is the data telling me? The great thing about having an established program is that you have a wealth of information at your fingertips. Now, taking the time to understand it takes some doing, but there's a lot of value that you can get that will help you identify maybe some shortcomings or new opportunities that you might not be leveraging today. So first, let's talk about partner segmentation. So if you're an internet retailer, chances are you know your customer profile, you know their demographic. As an affiliate manager, you need to have those profiles for your top publishers. You need to understand how they're driving traffic and how they're advertising in your program. And so segmenting them into different profiles will help you better target specific campaigns to get more performance out of your existing publishers. So some easy ways to do that is by their status. So are they active, inactive? Are they driving sales? Are they a top performer? Category or subcategory? Are they a blogger? Are they a coupon affiliate? And also last, by traffic source. So are they doing paid search? Are they do they have an email list, or are they driving traffic entirely out of SEO? So once you slice and dice up your publisher base, you're going to be able to see some things a little bit differently. You'll see potential issues where you're too heavily vested in a particular publisher category. Or you may say, hey, I only have 1% of my sales coming in from loyalty and publishers. How can we get more activation out of those types of publishers, or recruit more of those partners into the program? Next is doing a competitive analysis. So John talked a little bit about this. I think you can learn a lot by looking at what your competitors are doing and what they're not doing. You can see opportunities that your competitors are taking advantage of that you may not. But the things that you need to understand here are, what are my competitors doing that I'm not? Who are my competitors' top affiliates? There's certain partner segments that is easier to gather that data, but it's actually a lot easier than you think using tools like Brand Verity, Search Monitor, or even just some simple Google searches. You can typically see who some of your top competitors' affiliates are. And last is really being able to identify, what opportunities am I missing out today that we should be looking at for the future. So for this example, doing a regular competitive analysis will help you identify some new growth opportunities. In terms of what you're looking for, if you're a larger brand, the chances are your competitors are probably not going to shift too much. If you're an early stage internet retailer, your competition could be changing quarterly. But the key is when you're doing your analysis to make sure that you're looking at information that's relevant, information that you have control over in managing your program. So in this example, looking at your program, comparing the default commission rates, the referral period or cookie duration. Are your competitors using coupons in the space? Do they allow affiliates to do paid search? What is their paid search policy? Do they have any special terms and conditions that you can review that'll give you additional insight into their program and how they're incenting affiliates? What networks are they on? Are they running an in-house program? Are they using different affiliate networks? And then also, how is their program performing? So there's a lot of information out there that's just publicly available when you start diving into some of the networks where you can get a sense of how well that advertiser is performing. And kind of the second piece of this is really doing affiliate analysis. So looking at the different affiliates that you're working with by segment. So this example, we're looking at some loyalty publishers. Who are you working with? Who are your competitors working with? We wanted to look at our top 3 competitors in this example for one of our clients and kind of see what their loyalty exposure and distribution looked like comparatively. You can also get a sense of what your competitors are paying or what type of relationship that they have with some of these partners by looking at what they're offering. And again, loyalty coupons are probably some of the easier segments to identify, but you can also use some different resources to look at search and other channels as well. So in terms of once you have done your analysis and have a thorough understanding of what's going on in your program, it really comes down to creating a plan. Things that you need to understand to really effectively create an affiliate marketing plan is obviously understanding what your revenue goals are. What's your carrot for this year? Looking at historical data, what were some wins that you guys had in the program or some successes in the last 6 months? What were 3 epic failures that crashed and burned that you can stay away from in this upcoming year? What's your budget look like? Is that entirely dedicated to affiliate commissions and operational costs, or do you have some marketing development funds built in to explore some media buys or other media planning opportunities? And what resources do you need to be successful? Are there certain tools that you need to invest in for the program to run it more efficiently? Does it make sense to partner with an agency to help with strategy or identify growth? So with this plan, this is just a very simple example, looking at different initiatives and things that you should be focusing in on a month-by-month basis. What I like about having this sort of document is you can post it anywhere. You can look at it every day. It's a tool that keeps you accountable and on track. And it's also something that can be shared very easily internally within your organization when your boss comes and say, hey, what's going on with this affiliate program? And again, this is a very basic example. You can tailor this to your individual business needs and requirements. So to recap, nugget number 1 is really, taking the plunge. So get into your data, understand what's going on in your program, and understand what levers you have and opportunities that exist that you're not doing today to drive incremental growth. 2 is know thy competition. So know what how your competitors are innovating in the space and things that you can learn from as well. And 3 is create and work your plan. So a month-by-month roadmap will help you keep on track and make your life easier in managing and growing the program. Thank you.
What's the wrong one? Sorry. Let you do that.
Okay.
I'm a Mac user. This is Windows. There it is. Okay. Probably I should just use the clicker, shouldn't I? This which one? This one? Thank you. Okay. Hopefully I will do a little better presentation than what you've seen already. My name's Mike Allen, and I guess next month I will have been doing affiliate marketing 15 years. So I hopefully have learned a few things along the way I'd like to share with you. I'm planning to give an affiliate perspective based mostly on my work with shoppingbargains.com, which is a coupon and deal site. So I like to think in pictures, and so I've got some characters here. These are, you probably recognize them, Snap, Crackle, and Pop from Rice Krispies. And believe it or not, they're actually over 80 years old. They were first published on a cereal box in 1933 on packaging, but actually back then. So they're supposedly brothers, little elf brothers, and they all have a unique characteristic to them, along with their name. Their name is an onomatopoeia, and maybe I get credit for having the most syllables in the presentation, but onomatopoeia means it's a term for a word that sounds like what it means. And so you'll see like pop sounds like pop. Well, anyway, I took the three characters, and I think we've got 3 golden nuggets we can gain thinking through with their characteristics. So Snap has the baker's hat. He's the one on the left, and he's the older brother, the analytical problem solver. And so I think there's some golden nuggets to think through on that. You have Crackle. He's the one in the middle with the stocking hat. He's kind of an unsure middle child, and this is an area, there's gold there, but it's a little bit harder to find it sometimes. And then there's Pop, and he's the kind of the little brother, the mischievous one. He's got the marching band hat, and he likes to charge into things, just march his way in. He has a good time. He has fun. So hopefully we can tie all these together into something here. I want to look at things that we can snap as far as affiliate managers. You can snap into some affiliate-friendly technologies. And Crackle, I want to Crackle with exclusive attention for your best affiliates, because these are the ones that you can help them mine more gold. And the first one, you can mine more gold from your program. Crackle, you can mine more gold with your affiliates. And then Pop, you can find new gold nuggets that neither of you are getting right now. And you can do that with those creative affiliates. So let's look at Snap, the affiliate-friendly technologies. We've heard a little bit about some of the tools. There are some advanced tools. But even before that, I think we need to think about the terms and conditions and what is allowed in your affiliate program. Those things need to be carefully crafted, what you allow, and then they have to be enforced. You can have the nicest policy about, well written out one, but if you don't enforce it, it's really not a policy. Professional help sometimes is needed. The networks have some help, and you'll probably hear about some new tools at this event. They're often announcing new tools, new features at this event. But there's some great third-party tools, and here's just some of the lists. You've probably heard, Brand Verity was mentioned, Search Monitor. But most of these cost money, at least for the high-end level. Some of them have free trials or small accounts, maybe monitor 30 keywords or something like that for free. But if you don't have any budget, for about the price of a Starbucks every month, you could get a virtual private network, Strong VPN or Anonymizer or one of those, and you can at least monitor different like search publishers, different parts of the country. You may be in Chicago, but you can use a VPN and be in Miami from Google's perspective, so you can see the search results, what they would look like outside your area. Clever, fraudulent affiliates might be day partying or geo-targeting, fancy terms that mean they might filter out your Chicago market and say, don't show this ad in Chicago, or don't show this ad until 5 o'clock when the affiliate manager's off work. So you can overcome all that by getting a VPN and just changing your location. But there's lots and lots of help with third parties. You've heard, I think John mentioned, talk to your affiliates. We generally know, who the competitors are that aren't playing fair, and most affiliates are pretty willing to tell on each other for those kind of things, so you might just use that. And then I think, I need to say it again, just seriously root out fraud. It's very discouraging to your good affiliates, and it's holding them back. So, that's one of the things on looking at Snap's personality here with the analytical side. Then there's something proactive you can do. You can remove leaks from your program and improve your conversion rates, your landing pages. Site tuners, Tim Ash is here at Affiliate Summit. He wrote the book on the subject of landing pages. And, there's a lot to learn there. There's split testing. Some of that, it sounds really complicated, but it's really not that. And there's actually some free options from Google even. Responsive designs so that your your site is viewable and all your affiliate links work on mobile devices. Those kind of things can and really need to be done. 20-25% of the traffic is often mobile now, so we really have to do that. Trackable coupon codes is one I mentioned last time I really enjoy. Affiliate window, impact radius, web gains, link connector. These are networks that actually have a coupon code that can act as essentially it's like your affiliate ID. So you can use it in social media, like Pinterest, for instance, won't allow affiliate links. Well, you can post a trackable coupon code there. Affiliates can go after all their Pinterest fans, and you're still essentially, you grew your affiliate program beyond traditional means. You can be used in print. I've done that. It can be put on T-shirts, billboards. I've told Todd Crawford at Impact Radius one of these days I want to put one behind an airplane, have a banner with a coupon code on it, and let it track. So let's look at Crackle. And I want to remind all the affiliate managers here, you've got a lot to offer. And that's you. You are Superman to the affiliates, or you can be. You have the branded product that we are selling, that we want to sell. You have the service or branded product that you have the insider information. You've got the data. So give and it shall be given unto you. Share that data with your affiliates, the resources, the marketing schedules. There is often a really significant boost after a catalog drop occurs. So let us know when that happens so we can go ahead and give some premium placement the next couple weeks after that catalog drop. All these kind of details. You can often provide extra photos of the product for your best affiliates or enhanced data. I've known of some programs that would give a special data feed to their best affiliates that has additional fields or additional information. Maybe it's fresher. So you have lots of things like that. Special editions of products sometimes. You might have a mommy blogger that has hundreds of thousands of fans, and it really does happen. You might be able to do custom products or special editions with her audience. And then there's just the reward side of it. And not just money, but the contest. I think Rick had mentioned prizes and encouraging affiliates to do more. I think you have to carefully craft them so you don't have the same winners all the time. And one tip might be to look at the most improved, because anyone can improve. So look at things like that. And then be creative with the prizes. And here's some photos, but one of my favorite prizes was I got to go on a helicopter ride of the Grand Canyon with my affiliate manager. And so she got the benefit, so hint, hint, she got to go on the trip too. So all you affiliate managers out there, you may think of prizes that double. They give the access to the affiliate manager, and they're very rewarding. So that was lots of fun. So let's jump to the third golden nugget, where you can help the affiliates and yourselves, in this case, a real win-win, pop into new markets. And I mentioned a little bit about bundling or co-branding earlier, but we could take this a step further. And you see a lot of co-branding in offline, like from Sonic with their Sonic Blast. They have their M&Ms and their Oreo cookies mixed into the product, and so they're co-branding in those products at the same time. On the way here, I'm on the Delta flight, and they're promoting their luxury flight with the Westin Heavenly Bed on the plane. So you see a lot of these things, and they obviously work well. But you can take this with your best affiliates sometimes and develop those special co-branding and joint marketing relationships. They have a personality, a following. Maybe there's someone in your company. You can put the two together and go after new markets that way. Then there's products that are used in, in unintended ways. Even the internet itself it's not being used as it was intended. It was developed originally in 1969 as a research project for the military. It was designed so that a nuclear weapon, a nuclear blast could knock out one of the nodes, and the data would still self-direct to a new node and get from point A to point B. So even the internet isn't used as it was really intended. We see lots and lots of examples of this, but there's some fun ones like duct tape. It was boring product on the top left. Now look at it. And then you have, now even with the internet, you've got the people that are using it to fix their mailboxes, but you also have the prom dresses. And they're actually, look at the blue one there. It's quite elegant. It's amazing what people are doing with duct tape. And the guitar on the top right. And actually the wallet is even more amazing. One of my most popular blog posts, and this had to do with duct tape purses. And I had a merchant partner that had made a mistake with one of their URLs, and they didn't get the information out. And it was, I guess, a corporate mess or something. They didn't get it fixed. So the affiliate manager gave me the PDF of the data that all these people were looking for this file. So she gave it to me. I posted it on the blog, so I'm sharing the information, linking it back to them. So it was a win-win. And she was able to get past the corporate mess and get happy people again. So, neat little things. And then there's latex, another example. I think the researchers probably had the gloves on the top left more in mind, but all these other products that have come out of latex and the Christmas trees. Just think of all the gloves that are sold that way. It's amazing how many boxes of gloves that took. So you might be able to sell a lot of product in ways that weren't intended. Just looking at these things, it's amazing. So think outside of your normal reach, your normal ability. Corporate may not go along they might not be able to step in that path, but your clever affiliates who are doing a good job, your best ones, they can sell those products in ways you can't. And, we hear that if you want to have a good conversation, don't talk about race, religion, or politics. Well, some of the affiliates can do that. And when you get people energized, sometimes they're ready to open up their wallets too. So play with that when you have a good, honest affiliate that can do that, or take it internationally like John said. So, we've got lots of opportunity to pop into these new markets. So take a little cereal analogy and find some gold out of it. I think we've got a lot of opportunity there. My contact information if you need anything there, and some of what I've been up to. So enjoyed talking with you, and we'll turn over to Janine.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to go through my part really fast here so that we've got time for questions at the end. But the part that I wanted to talk about was partnering with your network. I'm an account manager at Affiliate Window, so I work with merchants every day and affiliates every day and kind of see some things happening over and over again. So one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about was learn the interface of whatever network you're working with, or if you're using a private in-house system, make sure you really know it. There's probably all sorts of nooks and crannies in there that are offering you all sorts of reports and information that you really can leverage if you just look for it and find it in there. There's probably great recruiting tools that are in there, or ways to optimize whatever information they are sharing with you about the affiliates to be able to use those to recruit fresh new people to your program that's going to help it grow. Join your program as an affiliate. I know it sounds silly and simple. I'm surprised at how many people don't do that. The networks usually don't have a problem with it. I've never worked for one that has. So, go ahead and give that a try. See it from their eyes. See what they're actually getting from you, because it'll surprise you sometimes when, oh my God, that's how that email came through. You can also, check out your competition that way and see how they're presenting themselves on the same network. It's open information that's there for any of the affiliates. It's open information for you to see as well. You need to see how you compare. I mean, that's one of the biggest things we've talked about over and over again, is the competitive analysis. Do that from an affiliate perspective within the network. Make sure that you follow the blog, Facebook page, and Twitter streams of your network. There's a lot of information that we share there. There's a lot of networks that are doing a lot of research all the time, and they'll announce that through their blogs or through their Twitter streams. And that's information that you can use and capitalize. We spend a fortune getting that information and are glad to share it. Take advantage of that. You don't have to pay a penny for it. And you can do it not just on the network that you're on, but on other networks as well. They've got good stuff that they're going to share too. So, don't miss out on that. I know that we're all doing that information overload thing where you get 9,000, reports and emails a day. But, scanning the titles, it's going to pay off for you. The other thing is to develop a relationship with your account rep or your manager. Ask them for the recommendations of the strong performers. I know who's rocking on my network. I know for sure. And I know if they're part of your program or if they're not. So ask me about it. I'm glad to do that. I can't go and just invite somebody to join your program unless you've given me permission to do so. But I can tell you who it is, so if you want to go invite them, or if you want to give me permission to do it, I'll do it on your behalf. But talk to me. Talk to your rep. Let them be actually kind of your partner right there, ready and willing to help you grow your program. Find out if there's a tool that you need. This is kind of on John's can't list. Is there something that the network isn't doing that you need? Tell them. Let us know. Give us that feedback. Because you know what? Odds are if there's something that you're not getting, there's probably other people that I'm working with, other merchants or other affiliates, that also could use that. And we've developed entire reports based on one suggestion from one affiliate or one merchant that we found really had a global application. And it's because there's great ideas out there from you guys. So please give that feedback to your networks, and you might be really surprised that you get what you need. And be the squeaky wheel. Don't be afraid to contact and say, hey, I need this help, or I need this thing fixed, or can you help me recruit better, or something like that, or give me ideas on something. From a network perspective, we've got the advantage of being able to see what all the merchants are doing. And while we have to very carefully protect confidentiality, of course, there are some things that have a global approach that we can share, or things that have happened historically that we can now share publicly with you, if you just ask, So use your network as a resource. There's so much we can share and help you with if you do that. And so that's kind of one of the things that I see on a daily basis. So I've just put my contact information up here. I'm at Affiliate Window. More than happy to have you come and talk to us. I'm not beating mine to death because I want to make sure we have enough time here for questions. But I want to thank you all for coming. We're going to open it up for questions now. And so here's my panel. Oh, and if you can, please, if you have a question, if you want to go to the microphone, that really helps because then it's all on video. Okay? Questions, please?
Hi, this question is for John. I represent Ellis International. We have several brands, and we're launching our Spanish language sites probably in the coming weeks. Do you have any recommendations as far as sources we can reference to see the top publisher, not so much networks about publisher sites or blog affiliate sites in international regions like Latin America?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing with Latin America because they're using today's technology, but they kind of have this sense of how we were in the U.S. about maybe 10 years ago. And so much of the business in Latin America is referral business. One and One has a few different types of affiliate programs. One is a traditional one that I manage, and then we have internal customer to customer. And I find that the customer to customer referral business within the site works a lot easier with that particular client base. Someone has a good experience with the product, and then they tell two friends, or the whole family ends up using that particular product. So from a publisher perspective, we can go over some lists of publishers. Spanish US is something that I know that Affiliate Window works with. You do want to probably run reports within your network if they have that resource. When we were in Mexico, when we were launching Mexico, we didn't have the ability to just have a network to help us. Because like in Mexico itself, there still really is not a bona fide affiliate networking program there. And Affiliate Windows is developing it with us, and Worku, which is another company that we're working with in Mexico, they're developing it with us. And a lot of what we're doing is identifying the top publishers and doing blog posts and doing articles about the product line and then doing link backs. That's kind of the strategy right now. The best strategy I could also look at is I can give you offline a list of these, but I'll give you my card. Anybody's interested in my card, I didn't put my contact information. I'd be happy to give you that. Really, the larger companies out there, like the Verizons of Mexico, if you will, the portals, they're the ones that have all the business. I would say maybe about 10 companies, maybe even less, maybe about 7 companies in Mexico have most of the business. And they don't want any part of affiliate marketing because they're getting all upfront, CPC or CPM business. And it's really been difficult trying to convince them that there's money to be made in rev share. So it's an uphill battle, but we're gonna definitely resolve that. And if you have the proper product and you have the proper leverage and you start nibbling at the sides and show that or prove to the larger players that a rev share program actually makes sense and works, and there's a constant stream and it's beneficial to both parties, then you have a good conversation to have with those publishers. But it's tough either way. What we found again, and I can give you this offline too. There's so many publishers in my head right now. I don't want to just pick out one or two, but we have business in Spain, and Birugi is one of them, and they're doing a lot of work with us in Mexico, as an example. But we had to go to Spain to get to Mexico, so you really have to be very creative in that market, And every time I do one of these, and I don't want to take up all the time on this question, but every time I have one of these, Mexico is the question. It's interesting, that's why I usually bring it up in the presentations to simulate that conversation, because it's a nut that we all haven't cracked yet. I think we're, One and One, are about 2 steps into it, but I think there's another 8 steps that we could take to be successful.
Thanks, John.
I'm going to follow up real fast on a point that a couple of the guys brought up here. John, I know you brought it up specifically too, is that, kind of using international publishers for their .com abilities or their .ca abilities. One of the things that I've observed is that there's a lot of affiliates that are at an international level that have a .com version or a .ca version, not just a .co or .uk rather. So by allowing them to come into your program, finding a way or going out and recruiting them, you really can build up your U.S. business a lot that way. Or your global business, by being able to find guys that are actually out there. And I'm not saying everybody going out and doing it, seriously go out and don't be afraid to try and approach those guys, because they can make such a difference. I've actually watched merchants when they've gone to do that, and you kind of watch that their revenue's flat, and then all of a sudden it just really takes up. And that's specifically, you can actually draw a line right there and know exactly when they started going after that kind of traffic. Because there's a lot of guys that are international. They're not based here in the US. They're based in England. They're based in Germany, things like that do a lot of business over here, but not necessarily are on your radar screens. So don't be afraid to go out and recruit that way. I was going to also follow up with Mike, and I don't know if you guys want to toss in any other ideas here. One of the most effective ways that I ever did a program for affiliates to try and get them to do something as a bonus program, instead of just writing a check which disappears. I use silver bullion, believe it or not. Silver's not that expensive per ounce, but there's kind of that cool factor with it. You know, it's shiny and new and pretty and packaged and stuff. You know, so even funny things like that. It doesn't have to cost a fortune to find something that's different. And, you know, as Mike said, trying to structure your program to make sure that it's not just going to be the same guys winning every time. There's nothing more demoralizing to an affiliate who looks at a program, and once again, it's, you know, it's the biggest seller. They're like, I don't stand a chance. You know, but if it's incremental business that they brought in, or, you know, they got their first sale, and so if they got their first sale this month, they get this program bonus or something like that. You know, it's those kinds of things. Think outside the box, and you're going to do a ton of stuff there. So, gentlemen, I'd like to thank you. Are there any other questions? Are we good?
Come on up. This is your opportunity.
Please.
We didn't put everything in the presentation just to try to get Dre out.
Sorry if somebody already asked this question, but I was late because on the app it said from 11 to 12. And I was really looking forward for this, so
Okay.
sorry about that. My question is in general, for one-on-one business, is the amount of revenue that or users that you get from affiliate increasing or decreasing over time? And is it bigger than the internet penetration that is increasing? So the market share of users that every year there is an amount of, I think it's around 10%. So do you get more users from AdWords and Google and banner ads than you get from affiliate markets? This is actually important for affiliate markets, so we know whether there is a future in affiliate market, or is it declining, and is it going more to big publishers?
Well, I think we all can answer that in a way. And, you know, there are different channels there, different verticals that we're talking about. So, you know, obviously Google has their own plan. So you see fluctuations with SEM based on how they change their keywords or how they change their spiders and so on. And then everybody else of the market trying to shift and recover from those changes. So on the SEM side, it's definitely growing, but, you know, you see these fluctuations, and it's really driven, I think, by the companies that are providing the service more than those fluctuations. Otherwise, I think you'd have steady growth, because as people come onto the internet, they're doing more searches. I haven't seen the next search, right? You know, so we had Yahoo, and then Google came out with a much better algorithm. Now they're the top, and of course now they're into all different things. But I haven't seen the next level. You know, Bing tried to do it, and I think that was just a failure. But in my opinion. But I don't know what the next level of the search market is. On the affiliate side, it's an interesting thing, because I think that things like loyalty have sort of flattened, in my personal opinion. I think it was the biggest thing there maybe about 2-3 years ago, and you had to be involved in it. And prior to that, it was coupons, and you know, and I talked about retargeting now. Actually, I didn't finish my joke on retargeting. I said it's just like Apple, because everybody wants you to buy it. That's what I was meant to say before. But, you know, it's an interesting thing. There's different variations of the same thing. So is there growth in affiliate marketing? Overall, from what I've seen in the networks themselves, yes. The networks grow year over year over year. And some of the older networks grow despite themselves. You know, not to mention any names. But it's interesting because from my perspective, my competitors are growing, we're growing at a healthy rate, we're growing because we're going into new markets, and the real growth, again, I go back to international development, South America, Latin America. Personally, that's the next explosive growth, because it doesn't exist, affiliate marketing doesn't exist in Latin America, so it has to grow. You know, and if you have a program or if you're an affiliate manager, that's where you need to go. I mean, I was looking at Brazil in 2008, and it still hasn't really caught on, although there's some activity down there. And, you know, now we're in Mexico. So I don't know if that quite answered your question, but at least it gave you a framework of an answer.
Yes, it's somewhat answered, but is the growth bigger or smaller than the search is increasing? So the growth...
So is the growth... I think the growth is less than search. At this point. But again, it has to do with what market you're talking about. If it's U.S. market, there's a saturation level in U.S., and there's changing verticals. And so there is growth. I think search is growing faster, but it's hard to predict, like I had said, because I think on the search side, the search providers hurt themselves. They make more money, but there's less activity as a result of their changes. So the changes puts more money in their pocket for less activity. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's sort of like this. So it's a very interesting curve.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sure Rick's probably got some comments on there too, but unfortunately we've run out of time. So thank you again everyone for coming. If you would like a copy of these slides or the slides that we did in Philadelphia, please feel free to give me your business card. I'll be happy to send them to you. And we're all going to stick around for a little bit if you want to talk to us one-on-one. So once again, thank you so much for coming and wishing you a wonderful summit. Thank you.